Welcome. Good afternoon. Go ahead and please mute your speakers, and we're going to begin shortly. Questions and comments may be entered into the questions feature. Due to the volume of participants, we will only be able to address questions related to any technical issues during the webinars. Others will be answered in a frequently asked questions document, which we will be posting after today's webinars. So I am Barry Wiesling, and today I'm joined by Chris Madden, the PD Registry Manager for the PA Key, and we will be showing you a preview of the new registry. We are very excited for this launch, and we thank you for joining us today. First and foremost, we want to acknowledge that there have been many changes occurring throughout our system, and we truly appreciate your flexibility and patience throughout this process. We want to assure you that the new system will be easier to navigate and have more functionality to help make your life easier. We also want to let you know that you may see some language on the screens that may be changing before our go live date of February 1st. We are actively working to ensure that the language reflects what our field is using in Pennsylvania. So first, we're going to go over a brief overview of why we chose to switch registry systems. Last winter, we held several stakeholder meetings to hear from all users on what they needed our registry to do. We then mapped those various business needs to our existing system and identified gaps. An RFP was developed for learning management system vendors, which outlined our requirements based on the feedback we received. So then in the late summer, early fall, New World Now's Insight LMS was chosen as the system which had the greatest capability to meet the needs of our stakeholders. So this webinar will consist of two parts. We will begin by walking you through some of the features that will help you track your professional growth. The new PD registry is more than just a PD calendar. It also serves as a workforce registry for you to house and maintain your education records, work history, PD transcripts, and more. In addition, directors and administrators will ultimately spend less time preparing for verification visits from certification, stars, and other agencies who may visit your program. We heard from many stakeholders that there needed to be an easier way to navigate and prepare for these visits, and we listened. The second half of this webinar will demonstrate the ease in finding PD opportunities and registering for them online. Again, our stakeholder feedback drove the change that led to the exciting features we will be exploring today. So how do I get started? We know you're eager to see what the new system looks like and how to navigate. On this webinar, we will show you several screenshots and functionalities of the new system. Rest assured that we will also be releasing tip sheets and other tutorials for you over the coming week. In addition, we will have a recorded version of this webinar for viewing at your leisure. We will also answer questions from the previous webinars once this webinar has completed. Please note that you may ask your questions in the questions box, but we will not be able to answer them during this call. You will be able to find answers to these questions in a frequently asked questions document that's going to be posted sometime later this week. On February 1st, when the new registry goes live, the PA Keys website will also have a new user-friendly design. You will still access the site through www.pakeys.org. Once you get to this landing page, you'll see a green box in the upper right-hand corner that says PD Registry. You'll click this box and it'll take you directly to the new PD registry. What you see on your screen now is the landing page for the new registry. So this home screen will allow you to search for training. However, if you're not logged in, you will not be able to register for those events. Therefore, we encourage you to log in first. On this screen, you may also search for specific instructors and many other search options to find instructors in your area. We will look at the other search features later in the presentation. So the first step is to click the login link in the upper right-hand corner. So when you see this screen, there are three different types of users as defined by the system. The first is an active user, and that is defined as someone who has logged into the current registry within the past 3 years. If you are an active user, you will use the same email and password that you are currently using to access the new registry. The second type of user is a user with multiple accounts. If at some point you created more than one account, you will be directed to a screen that allows you to connect your accounts. This is done to avoid duplications and ensure that all of your PD history is in one place. The third type of user is a new user. And this is someone who needs to create an account by clicking the Create Account option under the blue login bar. Users will be asked to provide an active email and create a password. A verification email will then be sent to activate your account. For the purposes of this webinar, we will begin the tutorial where all users will start with an active account. So active user information will transfer over from our old system to the new one. Notice the registry ID on the home page. You will see your current registry ID here, but you will not need this number to register for events. However, when you arrive at this screen, please take a few minutes to complete your profile, which you can see circled on your screen in red. You will also see on this screen there are links to apply for PQAS application and also to become an instructor or TA consultant coach. Tip sheets on those links are coming soon. Please note that there is not a fee to complete your profile. You will also see a membership card option to the right. All users in the registry will be assigned a QR or scan code that instructors can scan into a mobile app to immediately verify attendance at an event. This is purely optional, and more information will be posted on this cool new feature in the coming weeks. We anticipate this option to be available sometime in March. We will now continue with completing a profile. So you'll click the checkbox next to complete my profile and then click Apply Renew in the bottom right-hand corner. Although data is being transferred from the previous system, our new registry captures more workforce data that aligns with other national workforce registries. This data is very important to all of us as a field as it allows us to participate in a national data collection. Rest assured that your personal information will never be shared. Only aggregate data will be used, such as looking up and reporting on the number of preschool teachers in PA or the average salary for a preschool teacher in PA. This is the data that is necessary for all of us to grow and move our profession forward. You may come back to completing your profile if you do not have all of your required documents, as long as you do not submit your application. It is recommended that you have your transcripts ready to upload before you begin this process. So go ahead and click Start Application to get everything going. So first, we want to draw your attention to the fact that the new registry system uses a wizard which effortlessly walks you through the steps of completing your profile. At the bottom of each screen, you will find buttons that allow you to return to your profile, return to the previous step, or save and continue. These buttons may not show on the slides that follow due to resizing the photos for better viewing. In addition, some of the verbiage used on the following slides may be changing, as the slides are taken from a test site that is not completely configured for Pennsylvania. So as the system takes you step by step through the profile process, you will have the opportunities to change existing information, such as a name change or a new email address and any other personal contact information. You also may want to provide a previous last name if your transcripts have a previous last name listed. The Education tab allows you to select from various drop-down boxes, which includes a populated list of college and universities to choose from. Notice the question mark icons. These contain helpful tips as you walk throughout this process. It is important that you allow pop-ups in order to fully experience these features. This section also allows you to upload diplomas, transcripts, director credential certificates, and many other endorsements. The fields you see on this screen are optional fields. For instance, you can add special endorsements such as early childhood mental health certificate or that you are a certified or reliable assessor. In the DHS licensing section is where you will upload a copy of your CPR and first aid cards and also documentation of your fire safety certificate. Again, you'll notice the question icons that are going to give you tips if you're unsure what to upload in each of those sections. Employment history allows you to choose both current and previous employment. It is important to connect to your current employer within the new registry. Most of you will already have employment listed if it's part of your profile in the current registry. If you don't see any employment, go ahead and click the Add Position button. On this slide, you will be asked to select employment by category. In our example to follow, we selected early care since most of you on the call are employed at a child care facility or a family home provider. So there are several ways to search for your employer, including by a unique organization ID, which we will talk about further in the presentation. Please note that this is not your MPI number. There is a field to search for your MPI number further down. In this example, we type the word children into employer search. You may also type in the full name of your facility, such as Bright Beginnings. Search results will appear for you to select your program. Notice the organization ID number to the left. Again, this is not an MPI, and it is unique to the registry. So directors, you can save this number and share with your staff who are trying to locate your facility. This can be very helpful if you have multiple facilities with very similar names so that they can make sure that they're linking to the correct facility. So once your employer is selected, additional fields will need to be completed, such as your job title, hours worked per week, months per year, whether or not this is your primary employer, and the age groups that you work with. On this screen, you only need to select an end date if you're entering a previous employer. Note that the status is self-reported. Your director will be able to log into the system and go to the employee list and verify your employment at the facility, and they will see anyone that is linked to their facility. Please note that you have access to find and register for PD in the self-reported status. However, having verified information will assist your program when undergoing a certification or STARS visit. Once your employment is verified, you can always end date your employment from that facility, and the director also has privileges to end date any employee at their facility. So as you proceed with completing your profile, you will find more optional fields that allow you to upload a certificate for a conference or online course that was delivered from a national organization that was not previously entered in the registry. Once it is uploaded, it will be reviewed to see if we may offer PQAS hours for the event. Professional contributions, such as those that may be required to meet certain standards or may be needed when applying for credentials, may also be uploaded as part of your profile. Again, the system will walk you through these steps. If you would like to upload your current professional development plan, you may do so. Again, this is optional. We will be offering a new PD plan this summer based on feedback from our stakeholders. The new plan is currently in development and more information will be coming soon. So you'll see the final step on the screen here, and all that would be left to do would be click Submit Application. On behalf of the registry team, I want to assure you that we are here to help either by phone or email. Updates and tip sheets will continue to be posted on our website and our new Facebook page. Please follow us on Facebook at the PD Registry to access the most up-to-date information. Remember that some language may change as the program is customized for PA. However, these steps will remain the same. So to review, to get to the new PD registry, you'll visit the PA Keys website at www.pakeys.org and click on the green PD registry icon in the upper right-hand corner to get access to the new registry. Your first step is going to be to log in and complete your profile, including selecting your current employer. New users will need to create a new account. So continue to stay tuned for upcoming tip sheets and tutorials on how to best use the new registry. Now I'm going to turn the presentation over to Chris Madden, so thank you guys for joining.
Hello, I'm Chris Madden, and I'm the PD Registry Manager for the Pennsylvania Key. I'm excited that you're on the call today as we will be walking through the next steps of this webinar. Let's get started with what I need to know as a director or administrator of a program. So Barry walked you through the first steps of completing your individual profile. The next steps are to complete your organization profile if you do not have admin permissions in the current registry. If you have director or facility admin permissions in the current registry, you will not need to create the organization profile because one will already have been created for you. You may want to click on that organization profile if one has been created for you just to update your contact information. So again, when you log in, you'll see your individual profile, and if an organization has already been created for you because you already have admin permissions in the current system, you will already see the organization profile listed directly below your name. So once you complete your individual profile, as Barry mentioned earlier, you'll be able to add your organization profile. Remember, if you have permissions as a director in our current system, you will not have to complete this step. You will only have to complete the step if you do not have those permissions to view staff transcripts in the current system. If your organization profile has already been created, you'll be able to begin verifying staff employment of your staff as soon as they add your facility as their place of employment. As a director, you will be able to first go in and see your employment listed on January 29th. You will be able to give your staff the organization ID of your facility so they can easily find their center as they're adding their place of employment. So what you can do is under employment, you're going to hover over the little eye icon to the left of your facility, and an organization ID will pop up. That is not the MPI number, but it's just an organization ID that is assigned from the registry that you are able to give your staff staff so they can add this number as they're looking for their place of employment. Again, this feature does not need to be used. You don't have to give them this number, but for large organizations or corporate organizations such as a Hildebrand or a KinderCare, you might want to give this number just because it will show that that number is directly linked to your facility, because sometimes there's a whole list of corporate centers and it just makes it easier for your staff to identify which one is theirs. So again, if you don't have the current permissions in the registry as a director, you're going to need to add the new organization profile. So you're going to click on New Profile where you see it circled in blue. If you're a teacher or a staff member of a facility, you won't need to do this. You won't need to create an org profile because that will be something that your director will have to do. So once you start creating your org profile, you're going to enter in your contact information, like a good email address where we can send information to you. The first name and last name is for the director of the facility, so we know who is the director with the admin access at the organization. And phone number. And here's where you'll see the communication preferences. You can either subscribe or unsubscribe. If you want us to send you information about new enhancements with the registry or any possible upcoming trainings, you can subscribe so we can send you that information to the email that you have listed. And then you will add your mailing address for your facility. And then if there's any additional information that you want to share with us about your facility, like age group served, or any specifics to make your facility stand out from the others, and you want to share it with us, go ahead and add additional information there. And then click Update on the bottom right-hand side. You'll see the blue Update button. So once your organization profile is complete, you're able to start verifying staff. This verified staff list will help with certification and STARS designation visits. Staff will show as self-reported until the director verifies that the staff member is employed at this facility, and the director is going to verify the hire date. So you will see verified by program, and that's if the director has gone in and verified that the dates the employee has listed is correct. You will see reviewed not verified, and that would be if the director has reviewed the information, but maybe dates of employment or the title are not correct. So the director would ask the employee to go back and make sure that those changes are made before certification or STARS comes to the program, and before the director can verify that the information is correct. Or a director can deny this employment verification, and that would be if they see that the information is just incorrect, or sometimes, like I had mentioned before, sometimes people attach themselves to the wrong facility, especially if it's a large corporation. So that's why we had suggested giving staff members the organization ID number to make sure they connect to the right facility. But again, they don't have to because the address does show whenever they're searching for their specific facility. But this just shows how the director will go in and verify all of the employees. So as a director, you'll also have access to certain reports. And this is just an example of a staff list report. And it shows an example of all of the staff, their positions, their start dates, and their verification status, whether you have verified them or you still need to verify them. This does list career lattice step, but for now we are not using career lattice verification in the PD registry. It might be something that's used at a later date, but at this time career lattice verification will not be used. So this is just one report that a director can pull. We are currently working on other reports, so more information about the other reporting capabilities will be available soon. So now let's take a look at training. How do I find training? One of the biggest features that we're excited about is the quick link bars at the top of the screen. We're still adding to this, but we wanted a very quick way for participants to find the CCDBG health and safety courses, the STARS orientation, STARS 101 and 102 conferences. This is an area that we will be using later this summer, but conference providers can add their conferences here so that a participant can click on that link and then it will show all of the conferences available at that time. And one of the biggest enhancements is the Act 48 tab. Participants can click on the Act 48 and it will actually show a list of all of the scheduled events that offer Act 48. And I know this is huge because in our current system, people actually have to go through and click on each event to see if Act 48 credits are offered. So this takes the guesswork out of it. So here's a view of the training calendar and the course catalog. And I just want to give a little more information about the difference between the two. Most of you will want to stay in the training calendar, but I'm just going to explain the course catalog briefly. If you click on the course calendar, you will see a listing of all courses that have been approved for PQAS that are listed in this course catalog. So you can browse by a specific title. You may or may not see scheduled events listed there. So you might find a course that you're interested in, and you might find that there are 3 scheduled events, but they're not in your area. Or you may find that the course does not have any scheduled events, but say you're a director and you're interested in having an instructor come to your facility to instruct your staff. You can click on instructor details and you can actually email the instructor or the organization to see if they have availability or are interested in coming to train at your center. So I would advise most people to use the training calendar and just use the course catalog if you're searching for an instructor or a course that you can email them about possibly scheduling events. So we've made the training calendar very easy. You can search by keywords, such as typing in ERS. If you're looking for something specific on assessment, you can type in assessment under the keyword. I would advise always adding the city or county. You are no longer restricted to nodes. So you are no longer restricted to only seeing scheduled events in your area where you work. So you can type in different cities, you're not restricted. But I would definitely use this search option so that you can find specific events in your area or the area that you're willing to travel to. You can search by date if you're only looking for scheduled events for this week, or maybe you want to go a month out, you can add the dates. You can search by knowledge area 1 through 8. You can also now search by CDA content areas, levels, whether you're looking for a C1, a C2, or a C3. And you can also look by training language. For example, if you're looking for events that are in Spanish, you can choose that option. We also made it really easy to search by face-to-face, or if you're looking for an online version or a self-paced that you can complete at your own time. We added those search options. And just to note, you can choose multiple filters. So you don't have to just pick one. You can pick classroom, keyword, city, county, knowledge area, all at one time if you choose to. So then you just locate the events, and all the events that are posted on the calendar will show up, and you will be able to search for what you're looking for. So we made it super easy. Once you find the event that you're looking for, you can click on it for more details. It shows you the name, the hours, the level of the training. This one, for example, says NA for right now, but all events will be assigned C1, C2, or C3. It'll show you the exact location. It'll show you how you have to register, who the trainer is, the sponsoring organization, core knowledge area would be listed, and CDA content area. So then you would just click register online. You see the blue button on the bottom right. As a director, this is a huge improvement to the system as well, because you can register for yourself, but you can also see where you can check to register your staff. We knew this was a huge business need for the field, so now that option is back. You can click to just register yourself, but you can also register some of your staff or all of your staff in one transaction. So again, you would check whether you're registering yourself or registering yourself along with your staff. If you choose to register yourself, a lot of these fields will be auto-populated, like the individual ID, your name. You can add your organization, your mailing address, your phone number, and your email address. We suggest adding your email address, and it might be a required field for an instructor so that they can send you important information, especially if a course is canceled or an event is canceled. You'll want to make sure that you put your email in there so that you get all updates. So then you would just add the event to the cart, or first click on the terms and conditions. And again, you're going to add the event to your cart. You'll see the course listed, the event listed on the left-hand side. You'll see how many seats are remaining, and you will be able to click checkout and pay in one transaction. And again, you're just going to add your email address and your card information and submit payment. You will receive a confirmation email that displays, and it just tells you when the event happened or is going to happen, the specific details for that event. I would suggest saving this email just to keep track with your records to make sure that it shows that you've paid and that you actually registered for the event. So if you decide to register your staff, you'll see a staff listing of everybody that works at your facility. You can check one other staff member, a few, or you can select all. So then you would just click the people that you want to attend that session and click register staff. Again, you'll see a list of everybody that you've registered to make sure that that's accurate. You'll see a total cost, and you're going to agree to the terms and conditions and add those events to the cart. And again, the checkout process is the same. You can pay for everybody in one transaction, so there is no more need to purchase course catalog credit like you do in the current system and divide it out to staff members for them to register themselves. You can do this for them if you wish. So after you complete the transaction, you will get, as the director, will get a confirmation email, but also all of the staff members that you have registered will also receive an event registration confirmation email. We just wanted to show you this cool feature when an instructor is adding the location of their event. Google Maps is generated, so whenever you go to register for that event, you can click on the Google Map and it will show you the exact location of the event, so there's no confusion about where you need to go. Next, how do I find my PD history? So we've enhanced the new registry to include all past PD history from the portal. So many of you that have been in the field for a very long time know that any of your trainings before 2014 were housed on the portal. Whenever you log into pakeys.org, there was the PD history tab on the left menu that you could locate and search for all of your trainings before 2014. But then there's also currently all of your trainings were listed in a transcript in the registry. So we've combined both of those, and they will now be in a reporting tab called the Learning Record. So you'll see all of those past training records in one location. So we made it really easy. Instead of having two separate locations, everything will be housed in one area. So you can find the PD history or the learning record by either clicking the reports tab on your homepage, or you can also click the training tab. Both of those options will give you your learning record. And this is just an example of part of a transcript. You'll see the date that the event happened, the course title, who sponsored it, the event type would be PQAS approved. Level right now is showing as NA, but you would see that it was a C1, a C2, or a C3. The event ID, every scheduled event in this new system has an event ID, so that will be listed there. And then when you see verified, that is where the instructor will go in and say, yes, this person did attend my training. So they would mark off that it's verified that you were there. So when you see yes, that just confirms that you were at that event. And notice at the bottom, the core competency area, knowledge areas are listed. So you can quickly see how many hours you have spent within each knowledge area. Like this person has spent 2.5 hours in child growth and development, 2.5 hours in curriculum and learning experience, and 2.5 hours in communication. So you can take a look at your learning record and see where you're spending most of your PD hours and where you possibly need more. And just a note with that, we are revising the PD plan, and that will be coming out sometime probably in July. It will be a lot more intuitive and a lot easier for you to complete. It won't take hours, and you can work together with your director to work on those needs that you need and goals that you need for the upcoming year. So stay tuned for that information. So again, here's our timeline. On January 29th, next week, directors will get a sneak peek, and instructors, PQAS instructors, you'll be able to go in and make sure your employment is listed, make sure your organization profile is completed. If you're already seeing your organization profile, you can go in and update with any new information. As a director, you can also click to manage additional, give other, like your assistant director, for example, management permissions within your org. So you can do that at that time, and just get familiar with the registry. And at that time, you know, the PA Key registry staff will be here to answer any questions. You can email or call, and that'll be on the next screen. But, you know, just take some time to just go around and play in the different features to get familiar with how to find a course, to locate a course, schedule an event, or search for an event. And then on February 1st, the system goes live for all users. So that means all of your staff will be able to go in and attach themselves to your facility. And again, they'll be able to sign up for events at that time. They will be able to also see their learning record, and we will be transferring all of that information over. We just ask that everybody print out their transcripts up until this time, just for safekeeping in case anything looks a little different on their transcript, or if something's not showing. And we can always correct that on the back end when going live. So that's why we were asking everybody to keep that information or a copy of it. And then in July, August, we're going to have new enhanced features available, such as the Rising Stars Tuition Assistance application will be housed in the registry. The director credential application will also be available, and also conference registration. So you can register your staff for a conference in one transaction, and your staff can also pick multiple sessions all within the registry. So again, we just want to make sure that you are signed up for all of these important areas of communication, such as the early ed news. You'll see the link there. We are sending out lots of information through that newsletter. Also, join us on Facebook at the PD Registry. We have over 1,000 followers now, and we're sending out information on there pretty regularly. So make sure you sign up for the PD Registry. Also, our website, pakeys.org, that's where we're going to be placing this recorded webinar, and also the PowerPoint and additional tip sheets for you. So make sure to check back there frequently. And again, you can always contact us at registry@pakeys.org, and you'll see our phone number, 1-800-284-6031. And we do have a few more minutes, so I just wanted to go over some of the frequently asked questions that we have received from the first two webinars that have gone. on over the past 2 weeks. We will be combining all of the questions into one official document, but these are the questions that we've received so far, and we will be adding to this. But somebody wanted to know, how will I be able to determine if a training meets the requirements for the Keystone STARS required courses? And the answer to that is the new registry will have quick links to the required CCDBG health and safety courses and the Keystone STARS 101 and 102 courses. Next question, how can I check to see if my staff have taken the Keystone STARS required courses? So the learning record, we're still configuring what that will look like, but there will be a specific section for Keystone STARS courses. So if a doctor is looking to see if their staff have completed the first aid, CPR, health and safety, and other required courses, there will be a section within that learning record where they can quickly glance and see all of that information. The next question is around multiple administrators. If there is more than one administrator at a facility, can the administrators have administrative access? Yes, this is also an improvement to the system, whereas in the previous registry, only one person could have admin access as the director of the facility, but now the director is actually the owner of the organization and can give other permissions to staff, like the assistant director or somebody else that they want to be able to manage staff records. Next question is about multiple sites. If I am the administrator of multiple sites, can I view all of the information about all of my sites once I log in? And the answer to that is yes. If a person is listed as an administrator for more than one organization, all sites would show up in the drop-down menu in their profile. So you'll want to make sure that you are listed as the admin person for each of those organizations, so you can toggle in and out of those organizations that you want to be in at that time to view those specific staff members. So if I work at more than one site for an organization, how do I input the information? Again, staff working at more than one site would add each site location in their employment section of their profile. Prior missing training. Will a completed training that isn't currently showing in the current registry be transferred to the new registry? Yes, once the instructor closes out the event in the current registry, which they were asked to do so by last week, those trainings will transfer to the new system and they should be showing in your transcript. If for some reason the instructor was not able to close out the event, they will be able to do so in the new registry and you will see your hours listed in your learning record. Another question was about the professional development plan. Since the professional development plan component will not be available in the new registry until summer 2018, how should I maintain my plan? So we're just suggesting that everybody save a copy of their plan so that you can track your goals until the professional development plan component is ready for the new registry. Once that professional development plan is ready, you will receive instructions on how to input your information. And lastly, someone asked how they will be able to watch the recorded webinars. Again, we know we have a lot of family home providers that aren't able to attend the live sessions and others just because of working full day with children, so we understand. And we will be posting, since this is our last live webinar, we will be posting these webinars on the PA Keys website this week. So just take a look on the PA Keys website and you should be able to locate the recorded webinars. And again, we will keep the chat line open for a few minutes if you have any additional questions, but I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to all the information there is about the new registry. There will be more tip sheets coming soon, but we really appreciate your time and all of your enthusiasm as we work to go live next week. Thanks so much. Have a great day.